a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Chris Pratt. Christopher Michael Pratt is an American actor. Pratt came to prominence with his television roles, particularly for his role as Andy Dwyer in the NBC sitcom Parks and Recreation, for which he received critical acclaim, and was nominated for the Critics' Choice Television Award for Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series in 2013. He also starred earlier in his career as Bright Abbott in the WB drama series Everwood, and has notable roles in Wanted, Jennifer's Body, Moneyball, The 5-Year Engagement, Zero Dark 30, Delivery Man, and Her. Pratt achieved leading man status in 2014 after starring in two critically and commercially successful films, Warner Animation Group's The Lego Movie as Emmet Brickowski and Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy as Star-Lord. In 2015, he starred in Jurassic World, the fourth installment in the Jurassic Park franchise, which was his most financially successful film up until the release of Infinity War. He reprised the former role in the sequel Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom in 2018. In 2015, Time named Pratt one of the 100 most influential people in the world on the annual Time 100 list. Pratt continued his leading man run in 2016 with The Magnificent Seven and Passengers. He reprised his role Star-Lord in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Avengers, Infinity War and Untitled Avengers film, and will again voice Emmet in the Lego Movie 2, the second part. Early life. Christopher Michael Pratt was born in Virginia, Minnesota, the youngest child of Kathleen Louise, who worked at a Safeway supermarket, and Daniel Clifton Pratt, who worked in mining and later remodeling houses. Pratt's father died in 2014 from multiple sclerosis. His mother is of Norwegian descent. When Pratt was 3 years old, the family moved to Lake Stevens, Washington. Pratt placed fifth in a high school state wrestling tournament, recalling that when his wrestling coach asked him what he wished to do with his life, he said, "I don't know, but I know I'll be famous. And I know I'll make a shit ton of money. I had no idea how. I'd done nothing proactive." He graduated from Lake Stevens High School in 1997. Pratt dropped out of community college halfway through the first semester and, after working as a discount ticket salesman and daytime stripper, he ended up homeless in Maui, Hawaii, sleeping in a van and a tent on the beach. He told The Independent, "It's a pretty awesome place to be homeless. We just drank and smoked weed and worked minimal hours, just enough to cover gas, food, and fishing supplies." He recalled listening to the Dr. Dre album 2001 daily, to the point where he knew every lyric. Years later, he rapped Eminem's verses from the song "Forgot About Dre" extemporaneously during an interview. 2012. At 19 years old, Pratt was waiting tables at the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company restaurant in Maui when he was discovered by actress and director Rae Dawn Chong. She cast him in her directorial debut, the short horror film Cursed Part 3, which was filmed in Los Angeles. Pratt's first regular television role was as Harold Bright Abbott on the series Everwood. After Everwood cancellation, he joined the cast of The OC for its fourth season, playing activist Winchester Shea Cook. He also had an appearance in the 2008 action film Wanted, where James McAvoy hits him with a keyboard. In 2009, Pratt began playing Andy Dwyer on the NBC comedy series Parks and Recreation. Originally meant to be a temporary character, producers liked Pratt so much they asked him to become a series regular. This would become his breakout character. Pratt portrayed Oakland Athletics first baseman/catcher Scott Hatteberg in the 2011 film Moneyball. He was initially told that he was too fat to play Hatteberg, as he had gained 40 pounds, which Pratt attributed to the cooking of his then-girlfriend, actress Anna Faris. Deciding to lose weight, he worked out continuously, regularly checking to see if the part was cast. Losing a total of 30 pounds when he felt he had lost enough, he sent a photo of himself to the casting director and won the part. Prior to the release of Moneyball, Pratt was typecast as youthful and somewhat immature characters. In Moneyball, he played a dramatic role as a father and dejected baseball player who once feared his career was over and who had the difficult task of learning a new defensive position. He gained back the weight he had lost to appear in the film 10 years, then lost it again to portray a Navy SEAL in the film Zero Dark 30. He played the co-worker of Joaquin Phoenix's character in Spike Jonze's sci-fi romance Her in December 2013. 2013 present. In 2013, Pratt initially turned down the opportunity to play Peter Quill, Star-Lord in Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy, explaining that he did not want another Captain Kirk or Avatar moment. The film's casting director, Sarah Finn, suggested Pratt to director James Gunn, who had struggled to cast that role and dismissed the idea. Despite this, Finn arranged for a meeting between the two, at which point Gunn was convinced that Pratt was perfect for the role. Pratt also won over Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige, despite having gained weight again for the comedy film Delivery Man. The role was part of a multi-film deal that Pratt signed with Marvel. Although Pratt had been known until that point for playing supporting characters, and was best known as his portly Parks and Recreation character, that changed in 2014 when he headlined 2 feature films, the first of which was the Lego Movie as Emmet Brickowski. The film became the 3rd highest-grossing film of 2014 in North America. This was followed that August by Guardians of the Galaxy, which became the highest-grossing film of 2014 in North America, making Pratt the star of 2 of the top 5 highest-grossing films of that year. Bruce Dionnes of The New Yorker noted, Pratt, overflowing with charisma, plays the leader of the pack of misfits, and his blissed-out space cowboy is so full of goodwill that he buoys the film, and its requisite whiz-bang special effects. In March 2014, Pratt was awarded the CinemaCon Award for Breakthrough Performer. In 2014, he was ranked as on People magazine's annual list of sexiest men alive. Pratt was the featured cover story of the July 18 Entertainment Weekly, which documented the evolution of Pratt's physique over the course of the previous 12 years. Going from £220 for his role on Everwood to £295 for Delivery Man, to $225 for his roles in Zero Dark 30 and Guardians of the Galaxy. Pratt poked fun at his fluctuating physique in a musical number he performed during his monologue when he hosted the September 27, 2014, episode of Saturday Night Live. In November 2013, Pratt, an avid fan of Jurassic Park, who has referred to that film as "my Star Wars," replaced Josh Brolin as the lead in the film Jurassic World. He played Owen Grady, who works training velociraptors. Jurassic World grossed $652.3 million in North America and $1.018 billion overseas for a worldwide total of $1.670 billion. He reprised the role in the sequel, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, which was released on June 22, 2018. His next film role was as Josh Faraday, a gambler, in The Magnificent Seven, a remake of the 1960 Western with the same name, in which he starred alongside Denzel Washington. The film was released on September 23, 2016. Pratt's second 2016 release was Passengers, a science fiction film which opened in December, and co-starred Jennifer Lawrence. Pratt played a character described as a mechanic who wants to get off an Earth that no longer seems to value a guy who works with his hands. Pratt reprised his role as Peter Quill, Star-Lord in the Guardians of the Galaxy sequel Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which was released in May 2017. The film focuses on Quill's and his team's search for his father. Pratt also portrayed the character in Avengers: Infinity War, which was released in April 2018. On April 21, 2017, Pratt received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for his achievements in motion pictures, located at 6834 Hollywood Boulevard. On March 23, 2018, it was announced that Pratt would reprise his role as Emmet in the Lego Movie 2, the second part. In May, Pratt was confirmed to star in the Western drama The Kid. Pratt is set to appear as Duncan in action film Cowboy Ninja Viking alongside Priyanka Chopra. Initially the movie was decided to be released in June 2019, however, on the 7th of August 2018, the movie was pulled from the release list, nullifying the previous release date. Personal life. In 2007, on the set of Take Me Home Tonight, Pratt met actress Anna Faris, who played his love interest in the film. They were engaged in late 2008 and married in Bali, Indonesia, on July 9, 2009. Eloping on a whim after a friend's wedding, they lived in the Hollywood Hills neighborhood of Los Angeles, California. Pratt and Faris, pregnant with their child, had a coming home celebration with friends and family back in the Seattle area in 2012, which was used as a basis for a challenge for an episode of Top Chef, which was filming in Seattle at the time. The episode was filmed at the recently opened Chihuly Garden and Glass exhibit at Seattle Center. Their son, Jack, was born in August 2012, 9 weeks premature and weighing only 3 pounds. Pratt stated that the birth of his preterm son really defined his faith in God, after both he and his wife prayed a lot, as they were initially afraid of the baby's prognosis. Pratt was raised Lutheran and later worked for Jews for Jesus, eventually becoming a non-denominational Christian. On August 6, 2017, Pratt and Faris announced their legal separation. On December 1, Pratt filed for divorce. In July 2018, it was confirmed that he is dating Katherine Schwarzenegger. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?